We're out here today in 99 degrees. No better time to discuss the importance of the great solar flash, how it affects your reality and your everyday life. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. The great solar flash. We have more and more of our brothers and sisters that have been taking the journey with us, if you will, in recent times. And I felt that this was a great opportunity to take the time to speak about the great solar flash, an evolutionary step for our sun. Many of you might have eyes to see. You might have eyes to see, and you could notice the change. Energy is the ability to cause change, and we can detect energy's presence by noticing the change. Do you notice the change in the sun? Does the sun seem different than it did many years ago? When you used to draw a sun, right, it used to be yellow, but when you look at the sun now, it kind of seems more white. And some people, like myself, you might be able to pick up on a little bit of violet around the sun. So, how many of you does that resonate with? Our sun is going through an evolutionary step. And as our sun changes, we all change with the sun, right? The entire earth is like a little dot on the sun. 99% of all the energy on the earth comes from the sun. That comes from other universal sources as well. But our sun is going through a change. And now there is more energy that's coming from the sun. Because as the sun is evolving, this energy is coming to us. Now, we see invisible lights. However, visible light is only a small fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. So there are electromagnetic energies, ultraviolet lights, right, that we might not be able to pick up and perceive with our naked eye. Just because we cannot see these energies, it doesn't mean that the energies do not exist. So we're revving up for the great solar flash. And people like myself share about the great solar flash, and people from the past like Dolores Cannon. And if you're not familiar with Dolores Cannon, why don't you look her up? And she shared many videos and wrote books about this time period that we're all living through right now. We're living through the time period of the great solar flash. And we could take the time to put all of the great ones that came before us, all of their information, like Nikola Tesla. Light is information. Some of you know about light codes, right? How much light can you hold within your DNA? And a lot of us, we've been tricked or were tricked earlier on our journey. We were given fake, false, subconscious programs that we have junk DNA. I'm out here standing in the light of Christ to let you all know, light warriors, that there's nothing about you that is junk. The Creator, God, Source, has divine plans for everything. So, you don't have junk DNA. In reality, 93% of the function of DNA is light and sound reception and transmission. So right now, you are evolving as a species, as a society. We are all evolving right now. We're evolving as the sun evolves and this energy comes into us. It's affecting us and it affects the world, right? We're creating the new earth. We're out here on the new earth, light warriors. Fifth dimension, right? And for many years, we were part of a matrix reality, and people were disconnected from the authentic reality. People would actually hide from the sun. Could you imagine that, light warriors? People would hide from the sun. People were tricked to rubbing that satanic lotion all over them, right? They're rubbing chemicals that would leach into the pores, making people sick. Question everything, because questioning everything is your birthright, right? Read the back of the label. Read the label. Read the label of the sunblock and ask the question, are these chemicals supposed to be leaching into our pores? We just got to ask the question. Some of you know about this with toothpaste, right? There's a warning label on the toothpaste, right? Why are we putting something in our mouth, right, that's going to leach into our system that has a warning, a poison label, So we don't want these things in our body, and what it does is it blocks the light from entering our body because we have DNA receptors and we're taking in the lights, right? So we become the result of subconscious programs, because 95% of your everyday life experience is dictated by subconscious programs, and you will respond to the subconscious programs physically. This is known as the placebo and nocebo effect. A lot of you are familiar with the placebo effect, right? You take a sugar pill, and because you had positive vibrations, light warriors, positive vibes, you were able to heal yourself from the dis-ease by yourself because of the placebo effect, right? You healed and you had no medicine at all. That's the placebo effect. The nocebo effect. This is important, light warriors. That's why I'm here. I'm here for this. The nocebo effect is the opposite. Through negative thoughts, right, you could actually become sick just with negative thoughts. So if you're told, don't drink something, right, it's going to make you throw up, even though it might be healthy and delicious for you, you would throw up if you drink the substance, if you kept believing. It's all about the belief systems, right? So who are the writers of the belief systems, right? We're out here to understand. All the brothers and sisters are here coming over to say hello, right? We've come a long way. The belief systems were written to control who you are inside. It's controlling your reality. It's controlling your experience. When you're disconnected from the television and you see this stuff, right? You see the birds, you see the ocean, you see all the beauty, right? This is what you need to be in tune with. Not to tell lies to your vision. Not programs, not programming. They're programming your minds. We're here to unlearn and relearn. The great solar flash is upon us, and it's changing who we are. It's changing who we are through the DNA. It's changing who we are as we are on an evolutionary journey. You're taking this evolutionary journey and you're becoming the person that you came here to be. You are now the writers of the programs. And that's why everything is changing right now. We're all going through a change right now. More information, because as Nikola Tesla said, light is information. Darkness is the lack of information. So as you go on your journey and you see that there's so many attempts to keep you in the dark, we have to ask the question, always ask the question, why are there so many attempts to hide the truth? Many of you are familiar with knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. You heard that, right? Maybe some of your teachers taught you that. Well, now we got to be real authentic. And we also have to understand that the lack of knowledge is the lack of power. If knowledge is power, the lack of knowledge is the lack of power. And we want to power up our brothers and sisters. That's why we're in the light of Christ. That's why everything is returning. Everything is returning now. That's why we're seeing this great shift around the world. And it's actually all becoming part because of the great solar flash. It's actually because of the light energies that are coming in. The light energies are changing. Does the sun look different to you? Some people have been on the journey with me, and more people are new to this mission, and they're new to these concepts. Write in the comments, does the sun look different to you today than it did when you were a child? Is it more white? It used to look more yellow. Some of you might remember this. Look at how the sun hits certain objects, and maybe it illuminates them better than it did in the past, because the sun is evolving, and this is the great solar flash. This is the evolutionary step for the sun, and this is the evolutionary step for humanity. We're all being bathed in this light right now. So take the time to take all of these concepts and put them together, because, light warriors, this reality is about to change, and it will never be the same again. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because if we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. It's time. It's time to be in tune with the lights. Light is information. Knowledge is power. The lack of knowledge is the lack of power. Your DNA is much more powerful than you were led to believe, because, light warriors, you don't have junk DNA. 93% of the function of DNA is light and sound reception and transmission. So stop waiting for someone else to save you, while all along the power lies inside of you, and it is going to be activated, and it is being activated by the great solar flash. We had a big burst, or solar flash 1, as I like to share, in December, and many people felt the ascension symptoms. These energies affect us. Neutrinos, we are familiar with it. It could affect the world. We could have increased earthquakes and volcanism. This electromagnetic energy is much more important than we were led to believe, and it's going to create the new world. Everything is changing because of the great solar flash. Take it all in. Notice the change, because that's what energy is. Energy is the ability to cause change. And we can detect energy's presence by noticing the change. The great solar flash will activate your DNA. And then, light warriors, you will become the person that you came here to be. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious of the great solar flash and how it affects your reality and your everyday life. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the 5th dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. The great solar flash is not an ancient myth. It is now. All these concepts are connected. The Hopi Prophecy, the 144,000, the Apocalypse, which is the Revelation. It's all happening now. The truth cannot be told. It It can only be realized. So you need to realize it yourself, because free will is the law of the universe. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. So get out in nature. It's hot today. It's 99 degrees. So instead of just being in the basement with the air conditioner on, find yourself a water source. I know many of you might not be by the ocean, but you cool yourself down, you activate your DNA, you're going to affect your mood, you're going to increase your vibration, you're going to feel better. So don't stay inside when it's hot. Find a water source to cool down. If you live by a lake, get in there. Activate that DNA. Victory of the light.